Hello there, Ray here, and welcome back to ProtoTech, the oldest vanilla survival server, where we do the most craziest things possible in the game of Minecraft. If you guys haven't seen all the world records that we have accomplished in this world, make sure to check out the entire series with the playlist linked down below. And I want to thank everybody who just clicked that subscribe button, as we're getting very close to 200,000, where we'll be answering questions that you guys have. So if you have a question you want me to answer, leave it in the comments. As you guys know, ProtoTech strives to push the limits of survival. And one of the main ways of doing this is going after extremely difficult things. And one of the rarest things to get in Minecraft is a fully enchanted diamond zombie. But something that's even more rare is getting one of these guys during the day of Halloween. Because on the day of Halloween in Minecraft, there is a 2.5% chance that undead mobs can have jack-o'-lanterns spawn on top of their heads. No other day will allow this to occur. And I'll be talking about this in a future video. And for the last 10 years, I've been going after these rare type of jack-o'-lantern mobs. And we've been doing this on ProtoTech for the last 6 years. Each year we do something a little bit different. Here you can see the ones from past years. We got jack-o'-lantern headed guys that are skeletons ran on top of skeleton horses. We even got a diamond guy over here with a pumpkin head. So there's a lot of variations of what type of mobs you can get. So this year we want to go after zombies. We're going to go after villager zombies, hopefully get one that's in full diamond with a jack-o'-lantern head. But if we don't get that, we can also get like full gold or full leather, iron, or chain with either pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern. Now on non-Halloween days, pumpkins can be picked up by mobs and worn, but jack-o'-lanterns are exclusive to Halloween. So that's why it's more cooler to get jack-o'-lanterns, plus they're about 10 times more rare. The way we got so many skeleton horses on the single day of Halloween is by manipulating the randomness in which the game typically produces mobs. I was very fortunate to be able to help during this period of discovery, where ProtoTech members figured out how to turn usually very rare events into much more common. So we get like tons of thunderstorms, tons of mobs, tons of iron golems, tons of diamond items, and even weird things like always getting pink sheep. If you would like to learn how we did all that crazy stuff, I'll put a bunch of links down in the description. Since the first RNG manipulations that we did in survival, tools have now been made to make this process a lot easier. Now, many forms of RNG manipulation no longer work in newer versions, but the first one actually still works, which is getting enchanting tables to give you exactly what you want. So with these new tools, we should be able to breeze through making a RNG manipulation for villager zombies. So here's a tool I was talking about. It's by Earth Computer, and we just put in our world seed right here. I also went ahead and searched a bunch of different locations to find one that would have villager zombies. And this one is really close to spawn, and it also has the right mob that we want to get fairly close to the top. The next thing we do is we teleport to these cords here, and I already did that. It takes us right here. And this is a 80 by 80 chunk area that is considered a mansion, and we already went ahead and marked out the corner of it, so it goes that way 80 chunks and that way 80 chunks. So by loading any of the chunks here right before the game attempts to spawn in some hostile mobs, it'll make it so that they are villager zombies. Now this isn't an ideal location, because first we'll try to do spiders, then skeletons, and then villager zombies. So now we have to block off the spawning locations for the spiders and the skeletons so that those will fail, and then it will eventually reach the villager zombies. But before we block those spawning locations off, we gotta figure out where we want to have the actual farm. And since the 80 chunk by 80 chunk area is so large, we have a bit of a choice where we want to go. Right here is our die square perimeter, and that's inside the area. And right here is the edge of the mansion area, and that is inside of the area. So we decided to put it just south of there. So this is the mansion area, everything I'm looking at now. And if we cross this line, we're in a new mansion area. So since we want to load these chunks, we don't want to accidentally load them. We're going to move our AFK position far enough away from those chunks so that they're just barely outside of the region which we load. Now we need to figure out where we want to do AFK. We want to do it really high up in the air, so we don't have to worry about mobs spawning in the caves and filling up the mob cap. So we made a little platform here that's almost at the very top. So if the player would AFK right about here, every time we load one of those far away chunks, it's going to place in a spider first, a very specific location. But the spider location is blocked, then it's going to try to skeleton. And if that one's blocked, then it's going to do our villager zombie. So Kerb got the RNG seed from that mansion area over there, and that's this big number here, different than your world seed. And with this modded tool here, we can easily calculate everything we need to know. We're going for the third mob in our list, which is the villager zombie, and we're going to have 2 players worth of mob cap in order to get this farm to work. And XCOM has a great tutorial video on how to use these commands, which I'll link down below. So we plug this in, it will tell us where the villager zombies will attempt to spawn. So if we check the first location, it's going to tell us about the spiders and where they're going to spawn. We just need to make sure this location is filled up, and since it's at Y44, it's underground and it is already filled with some blocks. And the second location is skeletons. We just need to place a block at this location right here so that this one also fell and move on to our villager zombies. So we went ahead and did that. I just placed in a block here. That means we should now only get villager zombies as the first mob that attempts to spawn in. Afterwards, it can change to a bunch of different other things. So Kerb, Judgify, and I tested a bunch of different locations, and the best one seemed to be way up here because it's very far from the ground. It's also far enough from the first player so that the mobs will instantly despawn. And we're actually going to be using this to our advantage. If you guys have been watching the last few streams I've been doing, we create a bunch of different ways to sort out mobs for Halloween. Because with this farm, we're looking at around 60 mobs per second. We have to be able to sort them extremely fast. And this is where we're going to use the despawning. The location where the villager zombies will spawn are right on top of this block here. And there's 4 locations which they can spawn. So here, 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 and there. Essentially, we'll reach the mob cap in a matter of seconds. We want to push them away from where they spawned in, get them kind of spread out so we can see if we want to keep any of them. And then shortly afterwards, we want to get rid of them, and we're going to have them despawn just by being too far away from the player. The little device I came up with is having the second player stand over here. First one will be over there. And the way I designed this, if the player goes right into this little contraption here and he stands on this side of it, he is so far away from the nether portal way over there, and the mobs, when they try to fall downwards, they're going to be so far away from the player that they despawn right about when they get around in this location right here. But if the player moves forward a couple pixels just like that, now the player will be close enough so the mobs can actually reach the nether portal and be teleported into the nether dimension. So all I have to do is stand back here and push forward and backwards every time I want to keep a mob. So it's kind of like wireless redstone. There's no redstone really needed. I also put in a little device which you push a button and it'll also move back pretty fast. But you have to be extremely accurate because the player moves back and forth so fast that only a couple mobs would be able to make it through the portal. So I don't actually need any redstone over here to decide which mobs we're sorting. So the piece over here is also pretty simple. We have the spawning locations. I have some minecarts sitting in there because minecarts will actually push mobs. They don't push players, but they push mobs. So if I summon in a zombie, you'll see the zombie gets pushed by the minecart. This will give them just a little bit of nudge so that when more zombies come through, they're all eventually going to get pushed out of here. So I have a minecart for each of these, pushing the mobs all towards the center here. And then the mobs are going to fall straight down and despawn, or they're going to make it into the nether portal. They're all nice and spread out. So if I view it from here, I should be able to see any mob that has special properties. The nether portal here is with the obsidian all removed. We'll be using update suppressing with the switch to make it like this very easily. We got the 2 AFK locations for the players. We got the device which we're going to sort out the zombies with. So now we need a way to constantly be loading the chunks way over there. So every time a new one's loaded, we get some more villager zombies. So the lightning farm, we use redstone to load chunks, but we ran across a problem, which was that dungeons down in the ground had chests which were pointing against chunk borders and loading chunks that shouldn't be loaded. So after removing those in our lightning farm, we actually figured we can use those to our advantage and load chunks with chests. So over here, we're going to put in a bunch of chests all lined up against chunk borders so that the chests will load the next chunk, the next chunk, and the next chunk. And that should be easier than using redstone. We're still going to have some redstone here. We're going to use the same autosave detector that we use in a lightning farm. And what this device does is it detects the differences between a redstone clock on this side of the chunk and this one. And if it does change, it means that this outer chunk has unloaded. And that means that autosave occurred, and then we can start loading chunks that are beyond the player's loading area without having to worry about the game unloading those chunks until after 45 seconds. This will give us the ability to load the most chunks possible before the game will remove them all during an autosave. And because every game tick worth of chunks that we load means we're going to get some new zombies over there, we want to try to get as many in before the autosave. So after we detect the autosave, we put the information into just a big, huge clock here, which will carry the signal and then send it out exact time after the game has done its autosave so we can reload all those chunks automatically. Now, since we are in creative and we're on the backup of the ProtoTech survival world, we can prepare for all this stuff ahead of time. And one of the things we also prepared ahead of time was another type of zombie sorter. Because when we do let some zombies over into another side, there's going to be as many as like 15 of these guys coming through in a big, huge bunch. And we might only want one of them. We have a second sorter over here, which will sort each one individually. They're only keeping the best mobs. This device over here is kind of a one input per sorting device. Over here is more of a manual one. And once we start the farm, you guys will see how this works. Now, the reason why we bring the zombies over into another dimension is because we can take our time sorting them here and they don't count to the overall mob cap. So new zombies can keep spawning in, and in the meantime we can take our time sorting them over here. So these are all the parts that we need in order to get those rare types of villager zombies. Now let's implement this onto the actual ProtoTech survival world and see how well it goes. So we are here on the ProtoTech survival world, and I built up the zombie spawning location, including the nether portal. So it's time for us to break the obsidian here without updating the portal. So we're gonna make glitched out nether portals using the switch. So I got everything set up here. I got my other account over here at the switch. So let's go turn the autosave detector on. And as soon as this goes off, we'll attempt to turn on the easy update suppressing with the switch over here. One that has all the signs that says stay away and don't use. So hopefully we can pull this off without crashing our server. Okay, it just went off. Let's go flick the switch. This one's always on, so we need this one to reset it. And this one to actually turn it on. Okay, so that means actually loaded something. So I turned off some chunk loaders in spawn. Let's try it again. Reset it. And flick it. Nope. So then Kerb and I flew around spawn looking for the thing that was crashing the server upon starting the switch. That will definitely crash the server. So we found out why the server is crashing. Armor stand or any type of entity over top of pressure plate will instantly crash the server if it's in loaded chunks. And these are in entity processing chunks. That's what's crashing the server. We're going to have to get rid of these armor stands. So we removed the armor stands and we went back to trying to use the switch. Okay, it went off. Reset it. Okay, flick this. Oh, it did not crash. But did it work? It worked, guys! Awesome. That's amazing. Okay, so now let's go to my other account. What we'll do is we got this butted. We break this repeater. Okay, now this is butted. And if I mine this, should not update the portal. Hey! So then we did the same thing to the next 3 obsidian. Everything's set up. Good to go. Still mine this last one. Yes. Awesome. Ooh, okay. So now we have to crash a server. Time to intentionally crash the game. Eternal server error. Never seen that one before. The only way to turn off the switch. Okay, it'd be good to go. I'm on my camera account now, and we went ahead and finished building the majority of the pieces we need. We had Dudgified on, King Jelly, Technocrafter, Lenric, and myself, and you can see this is the spawning location, including some blocks above it to keep the sun out so mobs will spawn. We also got the 2 AFK positions. This one here is the main one. The player sitting here will actually determine where the mobs will spawn into the game. The second player is not going to do anything except for prevent the hostile mobs from despawning, and will be in charge of sorting the rare ones away from the rest. Also, if we go back behind the main player, we have a redstone line going to our autosave detector. This device isn't completely necessary, but it will help us automate the process of loading the chunks. The signals will come out of that device and will enter this area, which is part of the mansion area that produces the zombie villagers. So these things are chunk loading into this chunk, and then from there on we have chests which are chunk loading onwards. Every time this chest loads next chunk, in one game tick, these 2 chests will be loaded. So because that, we will essentially need 1,800 chunks loaded, meaning 1,800 chests placed. Or typically you would want to do 1 chunk per game tick over a 45-second period. That would normally come to 900. So we're essentially placing in double the amount of chests, but I think this will be easier to do than putting in redstone line. So we got most of the chests in place and we are ready to go ahead and test it. Have to increase the mob cap And to do that, I have to fly away. So it should increase the mob cap. It looks like we got some mobs to spawn. That's good. I've got the right types of mobs spawning too. Now we just need them to consistently spawn. And that's what we need the chunk loaders to do. Oh wow, it's working. Holy muggers. But it seemed to stop after a little while. So we couldn't figure out why we weren't getting mobs consistently. And we see there's some chests missing here. So let's go put these chests in. This should make it so that we can continue to chunk load. It seems to be working a lot more consistently and for a longer period of time. So because we're missing those chests there, it was loading maybe like a third of the chunks, and then it was hitting the dead end, and then for a long period we wouldn't load any new chunks. That means we wouldn't be getting any new zombies. So because of unloading, we put in some extra chest here. Because when it unloads, there is 1,800 chunks it has to unload. And because it can only unload 100 at a time, that means we need to have 18 game ticks for it to unload. Which means we need to stall one of these lines for 18 game ticks. So we need twice the main chest. So we need 36 chests to stall it. And then that way, once it is through those chests, then it'll be able to go to the main group of chunk loaders. It seemed like the chunk loading still wasn't quite right, and activation came on to try to help, but one of the viewers, Thornicum, noticed that a single chest was missing, so we fixed it. We also had some problems with the autosave detector, but since we can't really sort the mobs at the maximum speed, we decided to set up the clock so that it produces zombies for a while and then gives us a little break to sort, and then it starts back up again. So we got everything set up and ready to go. On the left hand side is what it looks like when the mobs are spawning. Dragonlord, Lenric, and Supernate made me these very nice resource packs. We removed the texture packs of the zombie villagers, as the majority of them all look like zombie villagers, and that's not really important to us. What is left is just the armor, so we can kind of see full sets of armor. If we see like a full leather set, they were like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Similar thing was also done with the pumpkins. They're shrunken so they're really small, but the jack-o'-lanterns are full size. So anytime we see like a pumpkin type of thing on their head, we know it is a jack-o'-lantern, as we really don't care about pumpkin-headed ones. And if we get like too many leather guys or gold guys, because both of them are very common, we can make their armor invisible, so we can concentrate on the more rare types like iron, chain, and diamond. The count in the bottom right is the one doing the big sorting. He's the one choosing if a group of zombies will make it into the portal or not. In the top right hand corner is where my main account is, and this is the account that's going to do the second stage of sorting. So when a big glob come over into another dimension, this account's going to go right or left to sort them into the kill or keep pile. And we're looking for ones that have jack-o'-lantern heads, because that is really unique to Halloween, with some type of armor, which also makes them a bit more rare. Whenever I see a good mob, I will try to grab it with this account. I move my player closer to the mobs. They're able to reach all the way down to the nether portal. Otherwise, they instantly despawn right above it. And then once I move closer, then they can teleport to the nether. Nether side, get the mobs over here in the chute, and I can go side to side and activate some redstone, which is going to bring the mob over. That one I don't want, so it goes to the right and I kill him. This one I do want, so I'm going to put a name tag on him and I'm going to send him to the left. So if I turn off the texture packs, you can see there's a lot of guys moving, but they all despawn right above the portal. And if I move my player just a tiny bit backwards, they're all going to go inside the portal, and you can see they're all ended up in the nether really fast. Kind of crazy. And of course they're going to take max crime over there. Oh! Did I get the guy? I pushed hard for that guy. You see me push that keyboard hard. Hey! This is probably by far the rarest guy that we got so far. Iron with Jackolantern. No, no! No, there's two of them! Come on, take my name tag. Are they both there?
We're going through bug reports that just don't make any sense.
At 20 minutes to go. It's pretty crazy. I think I've been doing this for 24 hours and it's finally coming to end. Like every year, Halloween finally comes to end, and then we will be able to look at all the different guys we acquired over this Halloween. There's a diamond guy. We are in the final minute of the Halloween event. All this time to try to collect rare mobs, so we should start seeing, instead of Jackolantern and Pumpkinhead ones, start to see just normal armored ones. Oh, there's a diamond guy. And now the time changed. Might take a little while to switch. It looks like it is officially ended now. We don't see no more Jackolantern, no more pumpkins. Halloween is over for another year, guys, here on ProtoTech server. That was amazing. 24 hours, I feel so exhausted. I started going kind of crazy. Can't remember what some of my accounts were doing. It was really tough on the mind and everything. Analyzing mobs coming by within milliseconds and being able to react and stored the rarest ones aside so we can put them into our exhibits. Well done, guys. Happy Halloween. So guys, it is the next day. I went ahead and went to bed after that, and now we are back to take a look at everything that we acquired. Let's get this stuff off my hotbar, and yeah, all the mobs are way down in there. We got 2 rows, we got some there, and there is also some over here. This is the one that Lenny Hoops did. Lenny Hoops was the guy running this order over here. So we'll take a look at and see which ones he got as well. But before I handle these guys, I'm actually going to turn on the nether mob switch because you can hear ghast are all about, and underneath of there is open, so it's not protected. So let's go turn on the nether mob switch just over here. You just need to flick that switch and it's gonna go turn it on. So now if we just fly up really high, we should be able to despawn everything underneath of this, and then nothing new will be able to spawn. There's no pigmen in the donut pigment farm. Okay, let's go and take a look at what we got here. You can see we got a chain guy with Jackolantern. I think majority of the guys, like I said, we were trying to collect are just Jackolantern types. We do get this diamond guy here, but he has a pumpkin head, not Jackolantern. But that is pretty darn rare. I don't know what's going to be more rare. He might be the rarest one we get, but Jackolantern is 10 times more rare than pumpkin. Okay, here we got another chain guy. He doesn't have it all enchanted. That guy, I didn't know. Does that guy have an enchanted or not? No, that's not enchanted chest. He's also holding an item. Preferably you want to have no pickup item, because that means it wasn't possible for you to give him those nice armor pieces. But it looks like our diamond guy did not pick up any items, which is good because otherwise the pumpkin is completely worthless. Could have just gave it to him. That guy's not enchanted. We also picked up some normal guys. Towards the end, I just picked up normal guys. Here's a guy with the enchanted iron sword. Iron sword is more rare than iron shovel. Here we got a leather guy with Jackolantern. Chain guy that has Jackolantern. He also has pickup item. It's not enchanted. Let's go down a little further. Nitwit with Jackolantern. You guys did notice we had 4 different places that where the mobs were spawning, but it was the exact same type of villager zombie each time. And that's how the RNG worked. Not only can we choose exactly what type of mob we want, so we can choose a villager zombie, but it also will provide us with the profession type too. So the prominent spawning spot was a librarian, which would spawn like every game tick. And then I think the second one was a cleric. Third one was a nitwit, and I think the fourth one was also a cleric. It is kind of cool to get nitwits because they are one of the weird guys, and it's normally not possible to get baby nitwit other than through villager zombies. That's something we can keep in mind in the future. We got a full gold guy with Jackolantern. Looks pretty cool because of the yellow and the yellow. Don't look like it's enchanted though. We got chain guy. We got diamond guys. We got quite a few diamond guys, and we did keep some of them, but we got so many of them we just decided not to keep them all. This guy has everything enchanted except for the top. He does have pickup item though. Another gold guy. This guy looks like he might be fully enchanted. Wow. Chain guy with some enchantments. We got another diamond guy. Not all enchanted. I think just his helmet's enchanted. A gold guy with Jackolantern. Here we got a leather guy. This chain guy. Is everything enchanted? I think everything is enchanted. That's pretty cool. Enchanted chain guy. Wow. And he has a shovel. Plus Jackolantern. That's pretty rare. I wonder how rare that guy is. Go down a little further. A couple of diamond guys. I was picking up some diamond guys without helmets because I was hoping that they would have like jack-o'-lanterns or pumpkins on their heads. Here we got our iron guy. So that's the iron guy we got. And I think it might be the only iron guy that's with the jack-o'-lantern head. He has a piece that's enchanted as well. A leather guy. think he's fully enchanted. And they're both not holding anything, so good chance that they don't have pick up item, which is great. Not picking up items is also slightly more rare than picking up items on hard difficulty like we're playing. Gold guy with Jackolantern. We got a... oh, it looks like fully enchanted chain guy. And we got another chain guy over here. They might both be fully enchanted. That's awesome. Another diamond guy. The chain guy, Jackolantern. 3 diamond guys in a row. We got a bunch of gold guys in a row. But down here, should not be no gas or any mob spotting because we turned on the mob switch. Good. In the beginning, we were testing it. We had a bunch of minecarts just go through to test it. Got a gold guy there. Another gold guy there. Some chain guys. Some more chain guys. Chain guys were a lot of fun because they are the next rarest thing from iron. A little bit better than finding a gold guy or a leather guy. And that's why I was trying to collect as many of those as possible. Got a leather guy here. And more diamond guys. We had a lot of fun collecting diamond guys. More gold guys. And that's everyone in this column here. Let's go check out the one that Lenny Hoops did. Lenny Hoops was collecting all sorts of varieties, including full geared up ones. He collected like a full gold one, a full iron one, some different villager zombies with jack-o'-lanterns on their heads. Got a full chain guy, more jack-o'-lanterns. Gold guy, he also got this leather guy, fully enchanted leather guy with jack-o'-lantern. Gold guy. He has some more guys with jack-o'-lantern heads on villager zombies. And he did collect some diamond guys. This guy even has a iron shovel in his right hand. And here's another mostly leather guy. And those are all the guys in this column here. Now, which one of these guys is the rarest? I made this Google sheet here to figure out the rarity of any mob that we collect in survival. We did this during our Twitch streams. I do stream every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you ever miss a stream, you can watch the entire thing at my Twitch videos, including this 24-hour live stream. And we had a lot of people help us with this, including the viewers. So hopefully everything on the sheet is correct. But if you see anything that looks wrong, let me know down in the comments. So over here are the main attributes that the zombie types can have. And then we can check and uncheck these boxes. And that will change the probability down here. So this probability is the overall probability of getting the mob with any zombie spawn. And then this is the probability of getting it within 24 hours. That's based on how many mobs spawn per game tick. And I just said an average of 3. Even though we're getting 4 mobs to spawn, not all of them will spawn in every time. So with this check mark right here, you can see the probability of getting this type of mob is 1 in half a nonillion, which is an insane number, but that's nowhere near the rarest mob in the game. And I'll get into that into a future video. So there's probably 3 main zombies that we collected. They're probably competing to be the rarest that we collected this Halloween. So let's first do this diamond guy that has a pumpkin head. So he is a villager zombie. That's check mark. We don't know if he's left-handed, so we're going to move that. He's not biome specific because that's not even in this version yet. Nitwit is a profession, but all professions are actually all the same. We're just going to keep that check mark. Pick up loot set to 0 is yes, because he hasn't picked up anything. And that's actually slightly more rare. Not a baby. He's not a chicken jockey. We don't know about breaking doors. He does have armor spawned on him. His armor is diamond. He does have 3 pieces of it. He's not from a villager zombie. He's not from abandoned village, so he won't have persistence required. He doesn't have a weapon, therefore he won't have a sword and it wouldn't be enchanted. It comes down to the armor. Each armor piece can be enchanted or not. This is one part of the document that we don't know some information about. So if you guys know any enchanting calculator that could show every single enchantment, including the super rare ones, let me know. Or if you guys are able to actually make a calculator for me to do this, I'd love to know that. So get in contact with me in the comments so we can finish this document. So he doesn't have enchantments, so we're going to remove all of these. He doesn't have jack-o'-lantern, but he does have pumpkin, which is down here, so we'll check mark that one. We don't know if he's a leader. We don't know about his health. This is the probability of getting this, which is equivalent to 1 in about 61 million, which is pretty crazy that this guy would be 1 in 61 million. But technically it could be a little bit more rare since he had to be spawned on the day of Halloween. That means that's 1 day out of the year. So if we go ahead and check mark that one, you can see it puts them at 1 in 22 billion. You gotta remember to uncheck mark this if you're trying to calculate the probability of getting it in 1 day, as the 1 day is considered the 1 day of Halloween. The 1 in 22 billion is quite rare. Let's see how the other ones fare up. So next up, let's calculate this guy. It looks like he's the best chain guy. Fully enchanted chain. Even has a shovel plus jack-o'-lantern. He's not left-handed though, so he doesn't have the chance of getting diamond armor on him, so remove that. But he does have a chance of chain, which I put down here with all the other ones. He also has a weapon, but it's not a sword. Sword is a 33% chance, where a shovel is a 66% chance. So it's a little bit less rare. His weapon is also not enchanted, but his boots are enchanted, his leggings are enchanted, so is his chest plate. He does also have a Jackolantern head instead of a pumpkin, so we can turn off the pumpkin one. We don't know if he's leader or we don't know about his health. So let's see how rare he is. Wow. He is quite a bit more rare than the diamond guy. 1 in 149 billion. There's only one guy that could beat this guy, and that is probably the iron guy. That's him right here. He is missing enchantments on his boots and his leggings, but because iron is harder to come by, he might actually beat him. He doesn't even have a weapon, but he could possibly beat him. Let's check him out. He has armor on. His armor is iron, so let's check mark that one. You can see iron is about 10 times more rare than chain. Doesn't have a shovel though. Does have 3 pieces of armor. Doesn't have a weapon. Doesn't have enchantments on his boots or his leggings, but he does have it on his chest plate. He does have a Jackolantern. And that puts him at, wow, that puts him at 1 in 12 billion. So he's actually the least rare of the 3. Kind of crazy how that is. The iron guy and the diamond guys are less rare than the chain guy. Just because the chain guy got some extra enchantments on and he also got a weapon. Just those little things can actually make him more rare. So the winner is the chain guy, being a chance of 1 in 150 billion, which is really insane. We'll probably take some of the more unique looking ones and take them to the zoo, put them on display. And all the mobs we do collect will be up for grabs by the viewers. You guys can claim these mobs by checking out this document here, which goes into all the details. I'll have it linked down below. We're getting very close to collecting all the mobs for 1.12, and then when we upgrade, we'll be able to collect the rest of them. But there's still quite a few that are up for grabs, and after we do complete all of these mobs collected on the server, we're gonna go for different variations, including really rare variations like these guys. The zoo should look insane once we get all these mobs on display. It seems like every Halloween we wait for the very last minute before deciding what we're going to do for Halloween. And this year was no different. We were initially trying to go after like baby zombies or chicken jockey zombies, but there just wasn't enough time. But since we are trying to go after all types of mobs, including adult villager zombies, this is a perfect opportunity to collect a bunch of them. Now, a lot of rare mobs got by during the 24-hour live stream, and I made a lot of mistakes during this Halloween event, but making mistakes is the best way to learn, and hopefully next year we can improve upon it, probably make the mobs move by slower so I have more time to react, and also probably try to put in a max cramming prevention system. But all of this would not be possible without your guys' help. So thanks everyone who joined during the 24-hour live stream and showed your support just by hanging out in the chat or with Twitch subs, bits, or donations, or coming over with a raid or a host. It's because of you guys that I'm able to do this type of crazy stuff. And I would love to do more of it in the future. If you'd like to support me, I also have a Patreon page, which is always linked down in the description. And I have tons of rewards that I offer with it. And if you guys would like to learn more about rare mobs and what we did on past Halloween events, check out the playlist down in the description. I would like to thank you guys for joining me as I have fun in survival. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.